Here. So I wanted to make a video about the law of increase and the coronavirus. So a lot of my clients have been calling and asking about what my thoughts are about this whole situation. And if I'm worried about my business, and I've also had a lot of clients as well, VoxerMe, which is one of the apps that I use with my clients, it basically gives them real-time access with me without waiting for a call. So anyway, I've had a couple people go, oh my God, like my clients are calling to cancel and blah, blah, blah. And then they call me back and say, never mind, I'm good. And so let's talk about this whole freak out energy, or this energy of panic and lack, and why people are buying all the toilet paper. I have no idea. But anyway, so the law of increase is hugely present right now. Granted, the law of increase is present all the time, but I want to talk with you more about that and your experience that you're having right now. So the law of increase tells us what we focus on will grow, okay? So if you focus on lack, you're going to get more lack. If you focus on positivity, you're going to find more things to be positive for. So just like gravity exists, whether you believe it or not, so do the spiritual laws and the universal laws. And like I said, the law of increase is hugely prevalent and in motion right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what you're mainly focusing on right now. And also just generally what you focus on. Because that will dictate and tell you, kind of give you a clue as to what you can expect. So there's people that I know who are just constantly negative. They're constantly looking for and focused on what's going wrong and what's not working, and oh, I don't have this and I don't have that and blah blah, and they're just focusing on all these things that they do not have and those things that are going wrong, and so they get more of that. But I also know people, and I myself is one of these people, who is constantly looking at what I do have, what I am grateful for, what I am appreciative of, what is working, what opportunities I do have. And therefore, I have more of those opportunities. I have more things to feel positive about. Like over the weekend, we needed toilet paper. So we had like 2 rolls left. Now, I'm a Virgo Libra, and normally my toilet paper shelf is stocked full all the time. Well, a couple months ago, I'm like, I wonder how long it's going to take us to go through all of these. So I didn't buy any for 2 months. And I'm like, oh, yay, it lasted 2 months. Woohoo! Go to Walmart, and I'm like, the one time I don't stock up, there's nothing. So I was like, okay, I need toilet paper. Okay, so, and I just kind of sat with it, and I'm just like, what's the opportunity in this? Well, we can go visit a grocery store that we've never really been to before. So we drove about 30 to 40 minutes to this really small town grocery store, and all the shelves were still fully stocked. There was nobody panicking. There was literally all the toilet paper anybody could ever want. And I was like, so my Libra Virgo self was like, oh. We got 2 packs, 2 of the small packs. We didn't get the giant, huge one, the jumbo things. We just got the regular amount of toilet paper and a couple other things. And there was no panic. There was none of this like panic buying and oh my God, we have to get everything because we're gonna die and all this other stuff. The energy was just like an everyday normal Sunday. And meanwhile, at the other store, at Walmart, there was panic and fury and anger and just this icky energy. And I really want you to pay attention and have yourself pay attention to what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the lack of toilet paper? Are you focusing on the doom and gloom? Are you focusing on what if? Or are you focusing on, oh, cool, what's the opportunity of me being able to connect with my kids for the next month because they're off of school? Me personally, I loved it when my kids were off of school because I was like, yay, we get to hang out more, woo! And we got to play, we got to go and do stuff. And granted, doing stuff for us was, going to the movies or going on a hike or playing cards or whatever, watching movies or watching video games or whatever. And I see all these people just going, oh my God, my kids are going to be home for a month and they're all pissed off about it. I'm like, dude, why did you have kids if you're going to be pissed about being with them? Like, seriously? I've never understood that. But anyway, so my point of all of this is, what is the opportunity in this? What is the opportunity in being at home? Now you can do your spring cleaning. Now you can paint that room you've always wanted to paint. Now you can rearrange the things that you've always wanted to rearrange. You can read that book that you've wanted to read. You can finish that Afghan that you've been working on forever, What is the opportunity in all of this? When you focus on opportunity and when you focus on those things that you do have, I'm so grateful and thankful I have time with my kids. I'm so grateful and thankful that I have a week off. Now, some people are like, well, yeah, but what if I'm not getting paid? Perfect. I'm so grateful that I know how to be frugal. And if I don't know how to be frugal, I'm so grateful that I have a beautiful device right here that I can Google. How do I be frugal? Like, how can I save money? How can I start to do those things that I know that I really wanted to start, but I've been putting off and putting off and putting off? Now's the perfect time. So give yourself permission this week to pay attention to what you're focusing on. And pay attention to the energy that you're holding. And if you're feeling fear and lack and scarcity and you want to shift out of it, one of the easiest ways to shift out of it is laughter. So Google Kevin Hart videos or listen to some type of funny podcast or whatever. I mean, find something that will make you laugh. And laugh, not just whatever. That was such a fake laugh. But anyway, but like literally belly laugh where you're just crying because you're laughing so hard. Like there's a video that I posted here on this Facebook page, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go to my Facebook page. If you're watching this on my website, go to my Facebook page. And there's this guy who's feeding these chickens, and there's this rooster. His name is Kyle, and he's being a jerk, and it is, I swear to God, I've probably watched it about 200 times this past weekend, and I have laughed so hard, and every time I watch it, I laugh even harder because I think it's just so funny. So find those videos where you just laugh and laugh and laugh and feel your energy rise, feel your vibration shift. Feel your mindset just lighten up a little bit. And anytime you feel yourself getting negative, anytime you feel yourself getting into fear, anytime you feel yourself looking for and looking at lack, be willing to pivot. Be willing to do a little bit of a redirect and say, how can I feel better? This feeling doesn't feel good. So how can I pivot and feel better today? One of the easiest ways is to focus on what you are grateful for. What do you appreciate? What are you excited about right now? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that it's snowing right now. It like legit is snowing right now. And I'm really excited for that because it's watering the plants. It's watering the ground, which means we're going to get greener grass faster. Yay! I'm excited because snow is pretty and I'm inside and I don't have to go out in it. Woo! I'm excited that it is 12:15 in the afternoon because I can have lunch after this. I'm excited that, after this I can call my kids if I want to. Look at what you're excited about. Look at the opportunities, truly. And I know this can be hard for some people. I know people are like, well, fuck that, and fuck this, and fuck everybody, and, blah, and fuck you, Kyle. Just watch the video. You guys are going to thank me for it later on. And if your name is Kyle, I apologize for saying fuck you to you. So anyway, but just seriously, and it's like, and this truly is one of the ways that we can lighten up about this. Also, laughter boosts your immunity. A lot of people really don't understand why we're being quarantined and why we're practicing this social distancing. Well, the whole key of all of this is to flatten the curve. And so when you have, because back in my day, we had chickenpox parties. So if one person got chickenpox, all the kids in the neighborhood would go over and play with that kid, and everybody would get chickenpox, and that way everybody would be done with it. And so what social distancing does is actually removes people from other people. And so the people that are getting sick are less and less, and then the people that get well are immune, and then they go out into the population who have not been exposed to it, and it really just shortens and flattens the curve. Instead of having it be a huge curve, it literally flattens the curve out. So people aren't being quarantined because people are afraid you're gonna die. It's just to reduce medical expenses, to reduce the time and how long and how much people get sick. But also, this is a great opportunity for us to really learn about how to take better care of ourselves, how to boost immunity, how to really look at opportunities in situations like this. So it's not about like everybody's thinking everybody's gonna die. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are on the spectrum that could possibly pass away because of this. If you have immunity issues, if you're elderly, yes, you do have that risk of passing away. However, the flu kills more people every year than the coronavirus has killed already. And I've done my research. If you don't believe me, Google it, truly. And, this is something that, yes, should be taken seriously, but it's not one of those things that should cause us to spiral into fear. It's not something that should cause us to hoard the things because we don't believe and don't have faith that things are going to be available. As I said earlier, we've got plenty of toilet paper, and if we don't, we have a bidet. So there you go. So give yourself permission today and this week and over the next couple of weeks to lighten up. Find things that make you feel better. Find those movies that make you laugh. Read those books. We've in today's day and age, we can do literally almost everything digitally. This is a perfect time to get an Audible subscription and start listening to some really fun books. Like I said, Kevin Hart, he's like my go-to because he is hysterical. His book is phenomenal. I think it's called I Can't Make This Shit Up, or I Can't Make This Up. It's a fabulous book. Read that or listen to that or watch videos or watch movies. But like I said, give yourself permission to lighten up. Give yourself permission to pivot. And if you have to pivot every hour, every 20 minutes, every 5 minutes, do it. But when you pivot, when you give yourself permission to look at the fear that you're holding or the lack or the scarcity, or when your energy goes down, say, I don't like this feeling and I want to feel better. Okay, what's one thing that I can do right now that's going to help me feel better? And pivot, and pivot, and pivot, and pivot. And like I said, laughter boosts immunity. The feeling good, all those feel good emotions boost your endorphins, reduces cortisol level. That makes you healthier. It makes you healthier. Again, you don't believe me? Google it. But I really give yourself permission to just not play into the fear. Yes, be cautious. And again, the reason why we're doing the separation and the social distancing is to flatten the curve, not because of the government thinks everybody's going to die. That's not it. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google benefits of social distancing and flattening the curve, and you'll see countless articles that actually show research, and they've actually got these little graphics that show one infected person and what it looks like when people do social distancing versus when they don't. So again, part of reducing fear is education. Educate yourself. And I've talked about this, about so many different things. I've talked about this regarding relationships, regarding finances, regarding losing weight, regarding building an online business. And this is no exception. Educate yourself. Find out, what is a virus? How does it spread? How does it mutate? What does it do in the body? And when you allow yourself to educate yourself, education is power. Because then you can start to really recognize what fears you have are warranted and what fears you have are just fear-mongering stories and energy from the media. Now, granted, media is good in one aspect, but then it's bad in another aspect because it can perpetuate fear. It can perpetuate adrenaline. I mean, this is one of the reasons why people or most newscasters, it's literally a 10-to-1 ratio where there's 10 bad stories to one feel-good story. Because when somebody has that cortisol spike and the adrenaline spike from hearing a bad story, like somebody gets shot and somebody got robbed and this and that and everything, people are like, oh. I mean, the world is safer now than it ever has been. But the reason why it seems like it's more dangerous is because we're so hyper connected with social media and with news and with instant access to things that are going on. But ultimately, with how many people are on the planet, the world is safer now than it ever has been. And that might piss a lot of people off, and somebody might be like, oh, you're full of shit. Again, Google it. Trust me. Okay? I do a lot of research because I personally like to educate myself so that I know truth from fiction. Okay? Knowledge is key. Education is key. So that, for one, you know what the hell you're talking about. And two, you then have a base of information that when you hear something, you can understand, oh, interesting. So that's how this person feels about this. Well, where did you get your information from? And I'm not saying this out of trying to prove other people wrong. Educate yourself so you know. I educate myself with all kinds of things, with like various ways people are in relationships. I've researched open relationships, conscious monogamy, forced monogamy, poly, all these other ones, because I wanted to know how all of these dynamics work so that in my relationship that I'm in, I can feel more secure, so that I can have a very sound and mindful conversation with my partner. Same with finances. I learned about finances. I learned about investing. I learned about debt. I'm actually a certified financial coach through Dave Ramsey. When I want to learn about something because maybe I'm feeling fear or I'm feeling triggered by it, I do it because I want to know so that I can have peace of mind. All right? So give yourself permission to just really be honest with yourself over the next couple of weeks. Again, give yourself permission to recognize the energy that you're holding. Is it fear? Is it lack? Is it scarcity? Or is it positivity? Is it taking comfort in knowing that when you need toilet paper, you can find it? Or if you need bananas or bread or whatever, you'll be able to find the resource, okay? And take comfort in knowing that if you recognize that you're in fear, if you recognize that you're in that lack mentality, if you recognize that you're scared, okay, recognize it and say, okay, I'm honoring this. I'm recognizing this is how I'm feeling. Why am I feeling this way? Why? Do I really know what a virus is? Do I really know how it can impact me? Am I healthy? And if I'm not healthy, what can I do today, since you're home anyway, to help start you on the path to being healthy? Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's putting down the pudding that you just ate, which I just ate a chocolate pudding. It was fabulous, by the way. And, okay, I was going to kind of go off on a little tangent about chocolate pudding, but I'm not going to. But anyway, so give yourself permission to use this as a stepping off point for you to do those things that you've been wanting to do, and to educate yourself on those things that you may feel fear about. And to also give yourself permission to say, I don't like how this makes me feel. How can I pivot? How can I feel better in this moment? How can I shift just a little bit? And it could be putting on the radio. Could be putting on a funny podcast or a funny book, or subscribing to Audible and getting Kevin Hart's book. This is not a paid advertisement for Kevin Hart, but he's just fucking awesome. Anyway, or going to my Facebook page and watching the Fuck You Kyle video because it's hysterical. Like I said, it's this chicken that's just kind of a jerk, but whatever. Some chickens are, or actually it's a rooster, but whatever. So, I mean, the point of all of this is lighten up. When you lighten up, life is so much better. Give yourself permission to look at the opportunity in this very moment instead of looking at what's going wrong, looking at what's going right. Truly, this is the key to having a better life, to having better relationships, to having a better bank account, to having a better body, to having a better mindset, to having better of everything. Focus on what is working. Don't ignore what's not working, but just if you notice something isn't working, okay, cool. What's the opportunity in this? How can I work with it instead of against it? And I mean, ultimately it's up to you. It's up to you and the energy that you choose to hold. If you don't like the fear, if you don't like the lack or the scarcity, focus on what you do have. Okay? One of the things that I know, because, okay, some of us were talking about, well, what if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and everything just turns into a complete shit show? I'm like, I'll just bake bread. And they looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, I got some bread skills. Like, I can make a mean loaf of bread. I've got several different types of artisan breads that I can make. I have this amazing sweet bread that is like, it's evil. Like, you literally could eat the entire freaking loaf of bread. It is so good. I make buns, I make rolls. I can make all kinds of bread. And that's what I would do. I would make bread and I'd be like, okay, I have a loaf of bread. Who's got some toilet paper? Or I have some loaf of bread. Who's got some eggs? I will be the baker. Okay. So give yourself permission to, and like I said, they looked at me like, oh my God, you're freaking crazy. I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's awesome because I'm not panicking. I know everything's going to be okay. I know it is. I feel it in my heart. I can feel it in every fiber of my body. And when, like I said, the only thing that I bought extra is cell salts, which is like this homeopathic immune booster. That's it. That's the only thing extra that I bought. So for this whole thing, because I know, I have faith that things are going to work out. And that's the energy that I'm holding, and that's my reality. So, like I said, give yourself permission to lighten up, focus on what you have instead of what you don't have, focus on the opportunity instead of the lack, and give yourself permission to pivot. I hope that this helps you today and tomorrow and next week and next month. I love you all. And tag your friends who you think might need this message today. Like, comment, share. I love you all. I'm here for you. And I have a couple special things planned over the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes peeled. Go ahead and click the notification thing on this page so that you can get notified anytime that I go live. Or you can click in the little 3 dots on whatever side of the screen that it's on and see my posts first so that you won't miss the special things that I have planned for you over the next couple of weeks. All right, I love you. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Mwah. Bye.